Welcome to the Going Ballistic podcast, episode number 89. For those of you following along live on YouTube, I apologize. You guys got a false start. I had some audio difficulties, but I got them fixed now. So you guys might be a little delayed jumping over to the live stream, but that's okay. I hope you guys make it. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to give you guys a false start. It's just me this week, guys. It is just Ryan Kleckner. It is not the other host, the other Kleckner. Jason, he can't make it tonight, but you know what? Even though we miss him, I think we can carry on tonight. The problem is I get so relaxed when I do this podcast. I'm sorry, guys, that I just am able to just banter with Jason and we're able to go from topic to topic. I should have prepared way more. Matter of fact, any bit of preparation would have been more. So I'm here. I wanted to give you guys a back-to-back week of podcast. So here I am. I even invited on Facebook. I said, hey, anyone that wants to join the stream now because Jason can't make it, let me know if you guys want to jump on. You guys can be on. So I'm going to start talking about some news and updating you on some stuff. And we can go from there. And maybe I'll be crazy enough to have one of you guys on the live chat with us. And maybe I'll regret that. Who knows? We'll see. So if you want to be on the podcast, like seriously, and you want to talk about stuff or have questions or add to the conversation, I'm open to trying to figure out how to get you added to this. So let's try. All right, so what happened in the past week? Well, I got to go do some shooting. I got to take out my Q, the fixed rifle. I think it's going to be her last trip I've taken with her. Wanted to get some good photos in, get some good experience in to be able to get her a review on gununiversity.com before I send her off to her new home with Jason. And guys, it was a tough decision to get rid of her and get her to Jason. And I finally got over that hump. I was like, all right, yeah, I don't need it. Jason would like it better. That's cool. I'll end up selling it to him. And then I took it out and realized what an awesome rifle it is. So I do have a couple of complaints about the rifle, but I'm picky. So I guess I'm going to have some complaints. But 90% or more are just awesome. I love it. So I'm a gun critic. It'd be hard for me to find a gun where I couldn't find something that I personally would do different or that's necessarily my cup of tea. But overall, I will say this. It is an awesome rifle. And it is definitely the most innovative rifle in the past 10, 15, 20 years, maybe more, I don't know, that we've seen. It is truly unlike anything else. And I was caught off guard by it. We all thought that Q with Kevin Birmingham was going to have silencers, which they do. They have awesome silencers. I actually just picked up a bunch the other day because I have an FFL, and I've been warning you guys that silencers might get regulated soon. I have no idea. I could be completely wrong, but if it's ever going to happen, it kind of feels like now because Trump has made a couple comments against silencers. They just, I don't know if illegally is the right word, but inappropriately banned bump stocks just by fiat. I'm afraid they might do the same thing with silencers. I mean, they're hard to defend against anti-gunners. We'll see. Who knows? I have no idea if they're really going to ban them or not, but I'm not going to wait around. So I've had a lot of people put in orders for them. So I bet out of the stack of silencers that came in, there's 8 of them are Q silencers. And yes, that's since this past week. So since the podcast, I've had my buddies were call up, and if you have your FFL, you get a silencer in like 2 or 3 days. So it's really fast. So I have this huge slew of Q silencers. I've been checking them out. I like the half Nelsons. Anyway, I digress. I'm on a Q love fest right now because they make some really cool stuff. The fix, though, caught all of us by surprise. I usually have my finger on the pulse of the industry, or I know some of the inside stuff. I didn't know about this coming at all until they announced it. And it's light. The bolt throw is short. It's unique. The actual bolt itself is unique. The fact they use like the angled lug, so it's a self-centering bolt face, the user changeable barrels, how the receivers, the chassis all in one. Guys, it's really freaking cool. Now, I'm going to start off, or at least maybe a quarter of the way into it, tell you some of the gripes I have about it, only because there's just a couple, and then I'll keep going off and gushing about how I think it's a great rifle. One of the things I don't like about it is it's got a punch to it, and it's not the rifle's fault. I mean, it's a light rifle. It's like a 6-pound rifle, and even though it's only 308, it's got a little bit of a snap to it. I don't know if it's a virtue of the way the chassis is, because the aluminum maybe doesn't absorb the recoil, goes right to your shoulder. I have no idea. It might be the butt pad. The butt pad is actually kind of one of my complaints. Is even though it's adjustable, it's really cool. Everything else is like the top of the line, but the little skinny back butt pad that's just a hard piece of plastic looks like a cheap plastic. I'm sorry, guys. It's like a shiny airsoft looking plastic. Um, just a weird choice stylistically or aesthetically compared to the rest of the rifle. Don't know if it's because of that. But it kicks more than you would expect it would, just the 308. But it's okay because you're carrying it most of the time and shooting it. But I even caught myself as I'm shooting the rifle. I took it out on a rifle course last week where I'm hiking up around the hills a little bit and met up with my buddies out there, the guy that actually owns the course out there, and was able to do like the last half of the course with them. So I didn't do it all, but uh, it put the bullets exactly where I wanted them to go. It was awesome. Really cool to shoot it. But I more than once I'd sit there and remind myself, don't flinch, don't flinch, don't flinch, don't flinch. Even one time, since it's so light, I held it out completely like a pistol in my forearm to try and shoot. And I was just about getting ready, and I gave a big old flinch and caught myself. I knew it was coming, so I was a little afraid of it. I'll admit it. But shot great, didn't miss with it. Awesome gun. Just the recoil is a little harsh, and the two complaints I kind of have in there are the butt pad, and that's just again aesthetically, but also the muzzle device. The muzzle device on the fixed rifle, the cherry bomb is what they call it. It is awesome for what it's intended to be. It is an awesome silencer mount. It doesn't need to be timed. They thought ahead and put really cool, wrench flats inside the end. I mean, just everything they thought about here, you can tell. They put the tapers in front of the threads, so when the silencer's on there, it keeps the threads clean. I mean, they really knew what they were doing. And it is an awesome mount for muzzle device for a silencer mount, but it's not good at being a flash hider nor a muzzle brake. I think they call it a muzzle brake, but if it does have a braking capability, it's not much. I'm making up a number here, but it feels like 20% of a normal muzzle brake. So that also, leads to the perceived or maybe the real recoil. But it also flashes out all directions. So it's not the most ideal thing for that, but it's great, like I said, for what it is, which is a silencer mount, and it looks cool. But if you want to soften it and you're not going to shoot it with a can, you might want to consider muzzle brake. That'd be a good thing to put on there as a muzzle brake. But stupid accurate, super awesome. Now, the last kind of complaint I have just makes me so nervous. And maybe I'm just nervous because it's new and I'm scared of the new thing. But the way the trigger mechanism in Seer is just, again, makes me nervous. I've never had a problem with my gun. I've heard some people mention the problems with it. I heard some incidents of it, but I haven't been there, so I don't know. But the trigger isn't a trigger and sear and hammer mechanism like a normal AR-15 would be, even though it looks like an AR-15 type pocket and air configuration. It's not, because it's got an AR-15 type safety. And again, it looks like part of an AR receiver there, if you will. Instead, all that trigger is just one bar. The trigger comes up to one pin, and it's the same piece of metal that extends up and puts a little finger and arm up. So as you pull the trigger, it just lifts the arm. Again, one piece of metal on a spring, and it just pivots. That's all the trigger mechanism is. So when you put the safety on, it stops that lever from moving. In the bolt itself is where the sear is. The sear is in the bolt. That's unlike any other bolt gun I've ever shot or I've ever had. And so it's essentially a button on the side of the bolt that when that button is pressed, it lets the firing pin go forward. So that lever just lifts and touches the button. So my perceived concern is, or maybe real, I don't know, when you put the gun on safe, you're not doing anything with the sear engagement. Where most guns, when you put the firearm on safe, it either holds the sear in place, like a 1911, you put it on safe, it holds the sear in place. Or a Remington 700, even their triggers, they separate the sear and the firing pin, so it's or not the firing pin, but they separate the sear and the hammer, so it's like can't even be engaged at all. On an AR-15, even when you put it on safe, it prevents the actual trigger mechanism from moving, so the front of the trigger can't move out of the way of the sear. So all those safeties somehow lock the mechanism in place, where on this rifle, it just locks that lever to push the button. That button is still there, so I'm worried about if it was hit hard enough, or again, I don't know. I haven't had a problem with my gun. I've never witnessed one in person having an issue. Just perceived. I'm just griping because I'm trying to be a critic here and tell you what I do and don't like about it. Overall, though, it's still an amazing gun. Overall, I still think it's again the most revolutionary, awesome gun to go shoot. I think it's going to spark similar platforms and designs. It has to, because making the receiver part of the chassis pretty darn genius. Makes it really lightweight, makes it stiff, makes it, you don't have any bedding concerns or issues or mounting the action of the receiver because it's there. It's all one piece. Uses SR25 mags. I think they did that, so it's easy for the mag release. I guess that could be another thing for guys that want to reload and they want a little bit of extra length to be able to load those bullets out long. An SR-25 mag is a little shorter for the overall length than an accuracy or national style magazine. So that is a different, interesting choice too, but it is what it is. The folding stock is a rock solid mechanism. They did amazingly well on that one. It goes the opposite direction I'm kind of used to. I'm used to lifting the stocks. It goes down, but again, you just get used to it. It's awesome. I had to laugh. I have a small Leupold 2.5 to 8 power Mark IV on it, and met the guys out there and pulled it out of my truck, and you're just holding it in your hand, and you kind of laugh because of how light and fun it is to shoot, and just to be able to throw a magazine in and cycle around when you're ready and crank one off. I shot federal gold medal match out there at the course, or actually, I take that back. I had 118 LR left over, so Lake City, but great stuff. Hit what I wanted to. It's going to be sad to see the gun go. I mean, how else do you get a Bartline barrel chambered by Dave Tooley in such a revolutionary, cool package? Good for them. If you guys are thinking about getting one and you've heard my potential gripes here and that doesn't dissuade you, then get it, right? I would say I have a lot less gripes about that gun than any other gun. So just because you heard some negatives from me, that's just because I'm trying to be honest. But yeah, it's a cool gun. I'm going to miss it. I might even buy another one. As I'm sending this one to Jason, I'm thinking, man, maybe I do need to get another one, maybe in 6.5 Creedmoor or something like that, because it's such a fun gun to shoot. So anyway, and a great gun for the Hunter Games. I'm going to be doing the Carnivore Hunter Games in September, where I'm competing in the bolt gun, the gas gun, the archery, and the wing shooting competitions. I'm a nut. I'm competing in every category. You guys got to check it out. I'll be up at Rock Castle. And I guess it's supposed to mimic like what we do out here for the rifle courses, hiking up and down the mountains and shooting on the move and huffing and puffing and stuff like that. I think it's really, really exciting. So it'll be a lot of fun. That would be a great rifle to have for that. Maybe I need to call Jason and tell him that I'm going to hold on to it till then. We'll see. We got a lot of comments coming in. Appreciate it, guys. I'm like, my offer still stands. If you guys want to be a part of the show and save me from just talking to myself, you're welcome to come on. Just don't make me regret it. Just let me know, and I'll figure out a way to somehow get you an email or something to get you on there. Dennis asks, however, considered instructing at Strategic Edge? Sure, I have. The problem with Strategic Edge is there's so many great shooters there. I'm going to be learning from a lot of the guys that are there. Tony Schenkel that runs the facility is just a wealth of knowledge. And if I have a question about how something works or trying to figure out a concept or trying to get better at something, he's kind of the guy I ask. So I consider Strategic Edge with a lot of the shooters you have out there like a finishing school. It's like a doctorate level program there and then offering to teach. I don't know. I'd be okay with it. I've taught some informal stuff there for manufacturers. But I don't know. I'll ask Tony. I'll see if he's open to it. I just don't want to mess around on his sandbox either. So Precision Rifle Reviews coming from Australia. Awesome, guys. Glad you're part of this. Glad to see you guys on here. Richie, Peter, Hydrolife, how y'all doing? Vera, welcome from Canada. Brad says he got an MRAD and 300 PRC last week. Such an awesome rifle. The carbon fiber barrels are nice too. That's awesome. Because I'm spoiled, I'm going to go pick up another MRAD and 300 PRC tomorrow. I'm going to get my hands on the actual ASR rifle. So I'm getting the actual advanced sniper rifle configuration from Barrett in 300 PRC tomorrow, so I can get ready for my course in Chama, New Mexico in a couple of weeks. 2 weeks, guys. I'm teaching a long-range course in northern New Mexico. If you haven't heard about it yet, you need to go check out Quinlan Ranch. I think it's quinlanranch@gmail.com, but go check out their website, Quinlan Ranch, and you'll see the spelling there. It's an elk hunting ranch up there, and we're doing a premium course. I'm warning you now, it is a premium course. This is not what I consider a budget course. This is not a course that I'm expecting to be affordable. I'm sorry, guys. It's not because I'm going to give any special sniper dust. It's just that's the facility, that's the venue, and that's the thing we're putting together. The people that are going, I hope to make friends with. It's going to be us hanging out all day and all night and getting a bunch of one-on-one time with me. I limited the course to only 10 people because I don't want what you see a lot of times is 20 plus people classes and none of them get the attention from me or be able to shoot. So I need to get an email this week to all the people that signed up. I think it's full. Maybe there's one spot left. I'm not sure. If you're interested at all, you guys know that I don't teach courses very often, not enough to make you guys happy. So if the budget is okay for you to have that kind of level of a course and you're curious, go check it out. Dennis said, bought a Gen 5 Glock 19. What's my opinion of the best trigger? I'm really liking the Gen 5 Glock factory trigger. I really do. I mean, I've been known to change the connectors out to the Ghost 3.5-pound connector with the over travel stop. I know that's some people like to scoff at that. I like it. You got to take the gun apart about 10 different times as you're filing down that over travel stop, but that's really nice. It's really hard to beat ZevTech. I love the company. I love the guys that run it. Really cool people, so I support them. So go check those out. But honestly, the Gen 5 factory triggers, leave it alone. Maybe the 3.5-pound connector, but as I've gone through the evolution of guns, right? I started at 1911s only, and then HKs only, and then I got into revolvers for a bit, and then now I'm into Glocks, and then now I'm branching out into SIG. So I'm just like doing this evolution of guns as I change that. I've done an evolution of Glock triggers too, as I started going so crazy, getting them so light and short reset and all this, that I got so far that they don't even work anymore. They either will get finicky or won't reset or won't always fire or problems. And I've gone full back circle again to a 3.5-pound connector with factory springs, and I actually shoot faster and shoot better with it. So I'm not knocking you if you change your trigger. Trust me, I've customized and quote unquote upgraded Glocks so much till they don't even work anymore. So I'm all about that. But just yeah, be careful with that one. James, when shooting test rounds through a chrono, how far from the muzzle do you set it up? I've heard close. I've heard 8 to 10 feet. I don't know, about 6 feet. I guess I should measure. I'm bad at that. I've actually been using the Doppler radar lately. I've been using lab radar, and I really like that one. I put it right next to it. Hydrolife wants the 300 PRC barrel giveaway. I'll ask Barrett. I'm open to it. If you guys are, you got to have an MRAD, so maybe that's why they'll be happy with it. But I'll check it out. Yeah. Greetings from Wyoming. Am I coming back? I think I am. I'm going to do another elk hunt in Wyoming this year. I think I have 2 elk hunts scheduled this year. Again, I'm spoiled. I appreciate it because of you all supporting me doing this is why I can do that kind of thing. What would be some good books or DVDs for someone learning to shoot long range besides your book or Applied Ballistic books and DVDs? I'm trying to think. Tactical Classroom. Check him out. He's from New Zealand. I've glanced at some of his stuff. I haven't read it completely, but he seems like a really cool dude. And he came out with a book, and he and I have emailed back and forth. And I recommend it based on what I've seen so far, and based on the information I've seen from him. Go check out I don't know the name of the book, but it's the Long Range Shooting Book by Tactical Classroom. Check his out. He really knows what he's talking about. He's been there. He's done that. He's not just someone who has taken classes from others and trying to put out information. He's really been there. I like it. How much is a budget course? It's thousands. Or a budget course. That's a budget course. A budget course would be, I don't know, $250 a day, $200 a day if you're only doing 10 people, because you got to travel and facilities and all that kind of stuff in it. I guess. I don't know. I don't teach enough courses, Todd. I'm sorry. Mark asked a question. I think I figured out what these things are. Is you guys are paying money for comments. That's awesome. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. So, any ideas on Boyd stocks, specifically the AT1? I am not familiar with the AT1. Should I Google it right now? I don't want to freeze the feed right here. Boyd stocks are good stocks. I have shoot one on my 22 actually of Boyd stocks. I think my favorite stocks now are the Graybo stocks. I think they're just the premium performance for just awesome pricing, and you don't even need to bet them at all. You can just bolt them right on. You're good to go. They're really good stocks. Let me check it out though, Mark. I owe you an answer because you paid for that comment. So I'll go look it up, especially by the end of the podcast. So I'm going to write it down right now so I don't forget. The AT1 Boyd stocks. If you guys know about it, give me some feedback in the comments and I'll be able to figure it out. So let's see. If I think CZ rifles are nice, try their pistols. I've tried their pistols. I've shot them before for sure. Yeah, it's a nice trigger, Dennis, in the Glock. Yeah. Leave it alone. Shoot it. I mean, if you want to change it, but you can do an awful lot with a stock trigger. And again, reliability and speed on shooting. The lighter triggers I get on a Glock, especially when you're using the springs to lighten it, you will notice it doesn't want to return as strong, right? Because you're putting weaker springs in there. And that is not conducive to dirty shooting, nor trying to shoot really fast. There's something to be said about that spring really kind of helping pop your finger forward to shoot a little bit faster. So wow, okay. I mean, I'm running with all this stuff for tonight. I didn't realize that I was going to have that much to talk about. Now I'm going to look it up, that stock. I hope I don't freeze anything. The Boyd's AT1 or AT1. I don't know how it's pronounced. AT1. You guys need to let me know. All right, let me check it out. Oh, it looks really cool. Yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah. I've seen that. Looks really cool. If that's your thing, Mark, go for it. I mean, it's a wood stock, so you're not going to get maybe the same weather performance, and changes in environmental, circumstances and things like that, and maybe the strength of like an aluminum chassis. But it looks like a really cool stock. Looks similar to what I'd expect in like a Tika or European type rifle adjustable stock. Those are really cool. I mean, speaking of chassis and going back to Q, did you see their side chick chassis? That thing just came out. So for all of you that like a 700, but want all the advancements of the super lightweight chassis and the cool folding stock and the fore end and all that stuff, they made essentially the fixed rifle just as a chassis for 700s. It's awesome. They call it the side chick, which is hilarious, and it's on their website. It's pricey. It's $1,500. And at first you think, I did anyway, holy smokes, that is way too much money. But then I thought about it, I'm like, well, no, it's not. Look what you're getting here. Any other chassis about that much went $1,500. And it seems like a lot because the chassis is so little. I think that's what it is you're like, that's all I'm getting? Well, that's why you're paying the money for it, is you're getting this little tiny chassis. It's kind of awesome. Kind of like how I think a lot of compact guns seem heavy to people. I'll have someone hold like my Rattler and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so heavy. No, it's because they see it as small. They expect it to be lighter. It's still much lighter, or it's the same, weight per size, I guess, density as a larger rifle. So for some reason, though, people see it small. Maybe they do the same thing with cost. That's how I'm doing it anyway. So Mark, you said you have a 783, so you're looking for a chassis. If that one works for it, go for it. I think it'd be a cool stock for it. I really do. I really do. 783 is a good gun. I mean, it works. They go bang, and the bolts are smooth. The accuracy we got out of those when I was at Remington always surprised me. You could get a 300 Win Mag right off the factory. They'd throw it right in the clamp, and they'd shoot 3 rounds out of it. It'd be a minute of angle. Like, that's really, really cool for a rifle at that price range. So I think the scopes that come on them, though, if you get the combo one, save up and get a better scope. But other than that, the rifle is actually pretty darn good. Richie's asking, not to change the subject, but I guess he's going to change the subject. What are my thoughts on maximum point blank range zeros for someone like me who hunts more than anything? Is it worth it? Can you elaborate on how to use it? I can, but that'd be like a whole big topic to get into, Richie. I still am just so used to keeping 100-yard zero on all my rifles and just knowing my dope as I go. But even with the 6.5, I caught myself looking at it and saying, well, what's my amount of drop here? And if I put like a 250-yard zero on, I can shoot from here out to 400 just by aiming at the center of the kill zone, or whatever the math I did was. So I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, if you want to do it, do it. Just be comfortable with it and know what you're dealing with. I'm still a little more comfortable, though, I think, knowing 100-yard zero and then my come-ups from that. And although it might not seem as cool or as fast as something like a point-blank range zero, yeah, I think it works better in all aspects of your life. It's better when you get back to the range. It's better when you don't have to forget where it was set at. It's better when the animal's closer than 100, and just getting used to it as a baseline. I think you get used to it. I think it works there. So yeah, that's what I got going on there. ED, another paid comment. All right, I'm going to try and answer everybody's, but I think it's cool. Can a Texan resident have an FFL from home? Absolutely. Absolutely, you can. There are more FFLs from home right now in this country than there are actually FFLs at storefronts. So there are more home-based FFLs than non-home-based FFLs. Now, you have to be in an area that's zoned for it that allows it. And talk about stuff in the course if you need some help in there to see how to write the letter to zoning if there's ever an issue, or how to get it approved, and explain, hey, I'm going to be a business, but I'm not really going to be a business, like with foot traffic and stuff like that. So Boss Hog, awesome, man. I'm glad you caught me live. I'm glad you made it on here. That's awesome. I appreciate your support. Red Leg, yeah, you are tardy, but it's okay. You're welcome. Kenny asked, is betting a low-end rifle, Stevens 110 and 30-06 worth the trouble? If you want to bet it and you don't do it yourself and you want the experience betting it and it's a project you think would be fun, then yeah, it's worth it. I mean, who cares whether you actually get a whole bunch more accuracy out of it or not? If you like doing it and you like fiddling with a firearm and trying to improve something and learning in the process, and it's something that you'd like to do, then the fact that it makes you happy to know that it was betted, yeah, do it. I wouldn't. I'm just not that big of a fan of betting. I'm always worried it's going to crack. I'm always worried it's going to be hard to take it apart and put it together. But if there's nothing wrong with betting, and if it's something that would make you feel better in it, and it gives you a chance of potentially improving the accuracy of your rifle, especially on a lower end rifle, you can actually get more accuracy gains out of it, because very often they're put into ill-fitting stocks, not put in very well. So it's a great way to eke some accuracy out of it. Whereas if you had a super high-end rifle and it wasn't bedded yet, bedding might improve it, but not much. So you actually have the most to grow there. But yeah, man, there's your answer, Kenny. You want to do it? Do it. It might be kind of cool. Now, if you're on a budget or you don't want to spend the money and you're not sure if you really need to spend the money, maybe don't do it. But I don't know what kind of scope you have. I don't know what kind of practice or skills you have, and whether you should spend that money on training or whether you should do stuff like that. Whew. Okay, Richie, I'll get into the comment for it though. I'll spend a future podcast talking about point blank range zero so people can understand it, so I can explain it simply. Sometimes it's harder to do. Red Leg says, so no love for the double stack 1911, huh? No, I have love for them. I do. I mean, there's a time and a place for them. I've gone, like I said, my evolution of guns I like. I started with the 1911s. I've kind of gone on from them. I have a double stack. I think I still have a double stack Remington 1911 and 9mm. It's a really fun gun. Shoots fast. It's kind of like a race gun. I used to have a SVI double stack 1911 that I had for like 6 months. I took it on trade for a truck, an old vehicle I had in Savannah. It was a fun gun. That's awesome. Daniel asks, do I still have or make any of my rifle slings in stock? Yeah, go to the Wilderness, thewilderness.com. They're awesome people, awesome company. They make a lot of really cool things. And one of the things they make are my slings. So you can order the slings straight from them and let them know I sent you. Rhinox says, my book is truly the worst coloring book, by the way. I agree. It is a horrible coloring book. Ed's asking, who has a better action, Bergara or Tikka? I like the Tikka better, but I really don't have much experience with the Bergara, so that's kind of a bad recommendation by me, but at least I'm being honest. I don't know. There's some things I think the Bergara wins on. The Bergara wins on how it comes out of the box, right, with the magazines they use, with the nicer stocks that they have, things like that. But the action alone, I really like the Tikka. That's actually why I like the Tikka. The action in the barrel. The stocks on the standard Tikka are horrible. They're absolute junk and should be taken off immediately. Where the Bergara has probably a better, not probably, they do a full package standard stock tactical rifle kind of out of the box. The Tikka Tac A1 and the chassis, I love that thing. That's awesome. But there's my pro and con. Yeah. Kenny, you're welcome for answering. Cool. There you go. Check out the Chamber Custom Night Fighter for the 1911s, what Red Leg says. Well, guys, every time I talk about 1911, someone always says, well, check out this person or check out that person's. I get it. They make really nice 1911s, but I look at a 1911 like a race car, okay? You can get a lot of cool performance out of them. You can tweak them. You can custom build them. But that's the problem, is so much of them need to be custom built, especially these super high-end ones. They're custom built. They're hand fit. That's what makes them so nice from one place. If they weren't hand fit or custom built, then it wouldn't matter which place you got it from. So you're buying a piece of artwork. You're buying a race car from one of them, which is cool if that's what you want, without a doubt. But I just like shooting. I like shooting with a gun that could handle defensive gun use. I like shooting with guns that could handle some abuse and actual use. And an old Toyota pickup truck is probably going to be more reliable than a race car. But if you're strictly into competitions only, then use a race car. That's what they're for. Just sometimes they need more tune-up. Sometimes they need to be taken care of by your mechanic more often, or sometimes they get finicky. That's how they are when you start pushing the performance out of a gun. So when I hear guys talk about wanting to carry a 1911 for, concealed carry, I think that's a bad idea. I used to do it. For years I've done it. But with all the options that are available out there that I think are just so much safer, more reliable, I don't know why you'd carry a 1911. Unless you just really like it. And then I'll shut up. You like it. That's what makes you happy. And if you're going to carry that rather than the perfect concealed carry gun that's going to sit in your nightstand at home, well, I'd rather you have a 1911 than a sharp stick, of course. Reed asked, 224 Valkyrie, does it fill a gap or is it just the flavor of the month? Reed, it's been a while since I did a podcast, but you must not be a regular listener. I do not get the 224 Valkyrie. It might not be the flavor of the month. It might stay around. I hope it's the flavor of the month. I just don't get it. Then again, though, I don't shoot gas gun PRS competitions, and I know that's what it's for. But the problem is, I hear guys say, 224 Valkyrie, it's awesome. You can get all this velocity out of it. Well, you look at any picture of an AR-15, and it's got like a 24 or 26-inch barrel on it. You can tell it's chambered in 224 Valkyrie because this has an obnoxiously long barrel. And so then I have to ask, why do you want that again? They go, well, and competitions, it's a super, super fast bullet because that long barrel, so you can shoot really flat out to targets. And I say, well, wouldn't a 6mm Creedmoor or a 6.5 Creedmoor beat it? Well, yeah, but a 6mm 6.5 is a medium length action, where the 224 Valkyrie I can get into a small action. And when I ask, well, why does that matter? They say, well, I can get it all in a receiver that's an inch shorter. My receiver is an inch shorter. Right. You've got an inch shorter receiver with a 10-inch longer barrel. I don't know what world that makes sense, but guys want these obnoxiously long barrels for 224 Valkyrie so they can brag that they have sub 6.5 Creedmoor performance in an inch shorter receiver. Uh, I don't get it. It's a specific round to get people excited. Some people love it, and a lot of people I know that love it know more than me about guns or are better shooters than me. So maybe you should listen to them. But I am not a 224 Valkyrie bandwagon guy. I mean, heck, it took me till last year to even start adopting the 6.5 Creedmoor. I want to make sure something's around for a while. So I don't get it. I just don't get it. I'd rather have an inch longer receiver and be able to then have a heavier bolt so I can have a better recoiling rifle and I can have all these cool things and all the benefits of a 6.5 Creedmoor with a shorter barrel and a shorter overall gun. I just would like that. Chris says barrel life is the biggest advantage. Well, maybe, but here's another thing I like to beat up on. I think people worry way too much about barrel life. I really think they do. So it's kind of like saying, I got a V6 in my truck. I don't want a V8 because if I put a V8 in there, man, when I step on the gas, I might peel out a little bit, and that tire life is going to go way down. I'm going to have less tire life for sure. You know, or oh man, this is a cool upgraded bumper with a winch on it. Yeah, don't put a bumper and a winch in your truck though, man. Your tire life's going to go down. To me, a barrel is like a set of tires in a truck. If you shoot enough, you're going to replace the barrel. Don't fall in love with the barrel. It's something that you replace like tires. But the vast majority of you that are listening to this right now are not going to shoot a gun enough to ever change the barrel. And if you think you are, you probably have never done it yet. And if you have done it, you probably didn't need it. So I'm not saying you're not good shooters, guys. I'm not saying you don't do that. I'm just saying I think that sometimes a little too much weight is put on it. It's a very real concern. It is something to consider. But if you like a certain cartridge, but it's considered to be a barrel burner, and you like 300 Win Mag, well, 300 Win Mag will burn a barrel a lot faster than 308. But is that a reason not to get a 300 Win Mag? Absolutely not. You get a 300 Win Mag because you want that extra power. All the things that'll make it a barrel burner is maybe what you're going after. So go ahead and get it. So that's my deal. I think the only advantage I can see the 224 Valkyrie is for someone that already has an AR-15 they like, and to save money would like to jump up a caliber without having to get a different rifle and just changing, barrel and bolt. Okay, I get that. That's very valid. That makes sense, but just not for me. Steven says, thanks for doing the NSSF videos. Short, practical, and to the point, unlike me on this podcast. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I'm glad that's where you found being at my book. Thanks for the support, man. More NSSF videos are still coming out from the filming we did a little over a year ago, which is awesome. They're just dosing those out. And I think this summer, maybe this fall, I might go up and we're going to do a whole new set of videos. So don't be afraid to send in your suggestions. I know you guys have sent in a bunch already, but send them in via email to Jackie so I can get a bunch of topics in there and I can make sure and cover what you want. I think we'll do half the videos in the studio again with a whiteboard so I can talk about classroom type stuff, and then maybe the other half out in the field, and we'll do it. So let's see, what other news can we talk about? What other news? I think I talked about the Sky Pistol and the Canik. Yep, I did that. What else is going on? Oh, I kind of have some cool news that maybe I shouldn't break yet, but BC Outdoor videos are perfect. Thanks, man. XK Commander, you like the videos too. Awesome, man. Those videos are really fun. You can see me getting better. If you look at the videos from like 8 years ago now, I'm actually getting better at being able to talk on there and not do it. It's like the one shot zero video. My favorite video I've ever done. It's like 20 minutes of one continuous camera shot. No takes, no anything. I make a mistake. I'm like, hey, here's the mistake. This is what we're gonna do to fix it. And I'm proud of it because I think a lot of people don't realize what it takes. One, for the poor cameraman to hold that camera for 20 minutes straight, but two, to do a video like that, where most of the guys you see on YouTube or Instagram, not most, I shouldn't say that. Some of the guys you see on YouTube and Instagram just are faking it. They're either speeding up their footage, or they're editing it to make themselves look better, or they're taking out misses, or they're flubbing something, and then hold on, they do another take so they seem good. So that was really fun to be able to do that one. BC says those old ones are classic. They are. Maybe that's what I'll dust off and do them better, because I even described some things poorly in those videos, ways I wish I could go back and take back how I said it. So maybe we'll dust them off and do some new topics again. Kevin asked my take on the NRA. Is it too deep a rabbit hole? Yes, it's too deep a rabbit hole. I will say this. The NRA can be valuable. The NRA can still be valuable, but it needs to fix itself. And I say that like I would say it to a family member. Like, hey, man, you got to get your life together. You're messed up. Like, have an intervention. Whereas I still love the family member. I still want to see them get better and keep them around. I don't want to get rid of the family member, but I still want to confront them and still say, completely messed up, completely off track, completely need to fix all sorts of things. And I think the damage control and everything they're doing is wrong. I think the old board needs to go and make room for some of the new advocates that are coming on. I think people like Marion Hammer that don't even show up to board meetings anymore and then write letters and come out against people like Adam Kraut, who would be amazing, that would hold some of the people for the NRA accountable, I think would be awesome. So there's my take. I'm not going to hold back on it. Eric asks, SIG P320 Legion, why do I need one? You don't. It is an awesome gun. I'm buying one. Yes, buying one. If they send me one before I buy it, okay, I won't buy one. But my plan is to buy one. That gun is like cheating for an IPSC style range gun. Okay, I'm trying to be careful here because I love gushing on some guns, but I want to be honest. I want to be anyway, critical about stuff. I want to tell you guys the truth about it. Don't go get the gun because you think it's the best thing ever and then realize it's horrible for CCW, or it may not be the best home defense gun, or who knows what it's not for. All I know is at the range for an action shooting pistol, for shooting quick, shooting accurately, a nice trigger, running with like a range gun, like duty belt setup, it is awesome. And that grip they did is so smart the way they did that. I think I described it poorly. I think some people thought they put tungsten like rods or metal in the plastic grip. No, they did better than that. They took powdered tungsten and mixed it in with the polymer. So when it dried, it's literally a matrix of tungsten powdered metal and the plastic all in one. So it gives a lot of density to it. It is so freaking cool. So, Eric, you need one if you want to do IPSC or I don't know if it'd be legal in IDPA. IPSC, run and gun, action pistol shooting. It might be the best out of the box gun for that. It is really freaking cool. The first 2 shots I shot of it, I stopped. It was sitting there giggling. Phil Strader handed it to me, and I'm actually giggling with the gun because it's so noticeable how light it recoils, how flat it shoots. It might be the gun that convinces a lot of people to go over to a 320. Honestly, if you're not liking the bore height or you're not liking the way it feels, that's a really cool one. So there you go, Eric. That's why you should get one. Let's see. Applejack thinks my NRA view is spot on. Good, thanks, man. I agree with it. Give Tom Selleck a break. I'm not saying everyone on the board's bad. There are board members that I think are great. But Tom Selleck, I don't think is a bad member because I know nothing about him to say that he's bad. But I'm going to pick on your comment a little bit there, is not Tom Selleck in general, but if someone has to say, give him a break, they're 70-something, which might be true, then what you're saying is the undertone there is because he's 70-something, he's not able to do something as good. Well, if he's not able to do something as good, then we need someone on there that can. So again, I'm not saying about Tom Selleck, but if anyone says, hey, come on, give him a break, okay, I'll give him a break. I'm not going to say they're a bad person, but I am going to say we need people on there that are 100% capacity, 100% dedicated, moving the company forward and hard charging. And if he can't do that anymore, we need to thank him graciously for his service. And he should help get on someone that can so that the NRA can be the best it can. So anyway, Kenny, you guys just gush on the videos. Stop kissing my butt, guys. It's going to get you nowhere. Glad you like the garage beer BS style for the podcast. This is fun. So, all right, plus wags. I don't know how to pronounce that. So cool, man. I'm glad we agree on that one. I try not to offend people, but sometimes I have a different way of looking at things, and I'm glad that sometimes you agree and sometimes you guys don't. So that's cool to have it on there. So the news that I probably shouldn't announce because it's too soon, but I want to do it anyway, is my wife finally decided she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom again, which I could not be more happy for. So she's been able to spend more time with the kids and more time around just helping with stuff and helping support me with things. And it's just been so freaking cool. But she wanted a project to do, like a side project to do on her own. And I told her I could help her, with a website if she wants, or to start with some of the marketing. I can't dedicate a lot of time to it because, as you guys know, I'm too busy with everything else. And I owe you all a second book and other videos and things like that. But she wanted to start something that would be a fun product that we might know about, and that would be something fun for her to do. And she likes the beard, so she started a beard care company, and to help out with it, we're reaching out to kind of like friends and family to put it all together. And one of the friends I'm doing it with is Kyle Lamb. So Kyle Lamb's on board, his wife's on board, my wife's on board, I'm kind of on board. I know, don't get mad at me, guys. It's not another thing that's going to distract me. She's running it. I had to do a little bit to get it started, but I'm so excited for it. So pretty soon, I'm hoping within a couple weeks, we'll have the VTech products up there, and I hope they don't get mad at me for kind of half announcing it already. I just wanted something to talk about and get you guys excited. But her website's already got some of the beard balms up there. The beard oil is going to be up there. Maybe we'll get it up there by tonight, at least just some pictures. She's calling it Musket and Hatchet. So it's a cool like Ranger throwback, which God bless my wife. I appreciate that. So musketandhatchet.com is going to be her beard care stuff. And we're naming after kind of military stuff. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring it up is the link, Richie, is just go to musketandhatchet.com. Go check it out and let me know what you guys think. We like it. It's got 9 carrier oils in it. 9. It's awesome stuff. There's a pine scented one that's the balm is a little softer because I think the pine oil. I'm not as big of a fan of that one. I love the smell, but I don't like that it's softer. It makes the beard like a little wetter look more than I completely like. So I got to work on that formulation a little bit, or they got to work on the formulation a little bit. But my favorite is Recon. Actually, no, Recon is I can't even think of the names of them. Anyway, we're doing like military style names for them. So, Ambush, that's what it is. So the unscented one is called Stealth. Recon, the scents are pine, cedar, and oak, like you're out doing recon out in the forest. And Ambush is leather, wood, and spice. That's my favorite one, and that one got named Ambush because it's one of those smells that's so faint that the women don't even know you're coming until you're right there, and then it's too late. They smell how manly leather and wood you smell. So it's like an ambush, like you ambushed them. So anyway, if you guys go check it out, appreciate it. Again, website's barely there. We're just doing kind of like a soft launch now. You guys need to go do it. Check it out. If you want to support her, go support her. If you don't, I get it. It's okay. I'm just letting you know she's doing it. The VTAC scents have a special packaging. They're going to be separate scents, even separate special names for them. It's going to be really, really awesome. They'll be available through VTAC. Again, I should have thought about announcing it. I'm a bad partner when it's not. It's my wife's deal and theirs. So don't bug them about it. Don't get me in trouble. But if you guys want to go check it out and, again, just see what it is. The reason I brought it up, though, is the Betsy Ross flag. I don't know if you guys heard about Nike. Apparently, I don't even know if this is true. This is just marketing by Nike. If it's marketing, it's smart because here we are. They're going to have a shoe that had the Betsy Ross flag on the back of it. And the idea being that was a cool design. And of course, Colin Kaepernick said, the flag is offensive. You can't do that. And had them not sell them. When I look at the shoe, I think the shoe is kind of an ugly shoe. So I think Nike is just trying to be smart and say, well, we had these, but because America's evil, because that's the popular thing to do now, right? It's kind of like for Pride Month, every company comes out and says gay pride so they can try and sell products. I think Nike's just doing that too. They're trying to say, well, a lot of people don't like America, which is a sad sentiment, that we're going to do this. And so it gets a lot of people to get excited about us again. Either way, the label for the Musket and Hatchet variety has the Betsy Ross flag in it. And that was part of the design already for the last couple months. And I just thought it was funny timing. So I had to break the news kind of early and be like, hey guys, here's some news. Here's a company that loves the Betsy Ross flag right on the front. And it's supposed to be the old Revolutionary War, right? Musket, hatchet, stuff like that. So yeah, guys, go check it out. Give me some feedback on the design of it. If anyone can design better stuff, let me know, because that's the best we could do for starting here. And again, we'll get the oils up there and the beard balms up there. I've been more of a fan of beard oil than I thought. I thought beard balm was it. I thought beard balm was what you needed to shape your beard. But I realized that if you put a small amount of beard oil, not a lot, a little tiny amount, like 4 drops, and you rub it into your beard good, your beard actually lays better and is softer than even the balm. So I don't know. Blind Rodent says Arizona pulled out tax exemptions for Nike. I saw that in the news. I saw Ducey said, well, fine, you don't like America. We're going to pull out your tax benefits coming to the state. And although I first read that and I go, yeah, that's right. Take that, Nike. I stop for a second and go, wait a minute. I love the free market. I love freedom of speech. I love that kind of stuff, but that's not really the free market. And it makes me nervous when a state can put its policies on there, because what if the state said the opposite? What if California said, "Hey, April Kleckner, your beard company products have the Betsy Ross flag on them. Therefore, we're going to ban those in our state." We wouldn't like that. So I've said this to you guys before: is it's fun to cheer when the things go your way when it involves the government making an action, but it's not so cool when the government goes against the way you believe. And it makes me nervous when we start upsetting the free market by giving maybe unfair competitive advantage to one company over another. I mean, I'm sure there's other companies that would love millions to get there, but then again, they're bringing jobs. I get it. I'm just talking out loud, and I shouldn't do it right now. Um, so yeah, check it out. Keep supporting Rocket FFL. I love it. My book, the videos, spreading the word about the podcast. More podcast numbers, more of a benefit for us. So B-Buck says, you buy more from companies that stand for a country. Me too, man. Me too. I completely agree. I think that's what the free market is, and that's how it should be. Is you should be able to make the choice, for what you want to do there. Check out Gun University. Articles keep going up there, trying to keep reviews going. We had a Gun University ammunition giveaway. Not only is Gun University the best listing of every gun giveaway going on the internet, by the way, go look at the contest page. I know I've said it before, but I'm saying it again. Not a single one of those links is a referral link. There's nothing wrong with people that give referral links. Matter of fact, when we run the contest, we give you a special referral link that gives you like 100 times more entries for every friend you get to sign up. That way it kind of goes viral. So when you take that link and share it, and your friends sign up, you get way more of a benefit than they do. Well, the problem is there's a lot of sites out there. I shouldn't say problem, too strong a word. There's a lot of sites out there or people that will just share those referral links. Well, the problem is when you get the information from them, every time you enter, they have 100 times more chance to win than you do. And I thought, I don't want to do that with Gun University. So every single link on that chart that gets updated every single day, and you can sort the chart right there on the contest giveaway page at gununiversity.com. You can sort by the value, you can sort by the date it ends, you can sort only by new ones that are added. And every one of those links, go enter the contest, and it is zero benefit to gununiversity.com or me. We do that just for you guys as a service, so you have the best chance of winning. We also run some of our own competitions every once in a while, and we did a ammunition giveaway. MagTech, our awesome friends and sponsors, give away a free box of ammo, and we ended up doing 140 grain 9mm subsonic, which I found out in one of my guns isn't subsonic. So a fair warning, it's awesome ammo and that it works, but it's right at the edge of it should be subsonic, but if it's not, it's kind of right there. So I can't wait to try out the 150 grains next. They're gonna be a little bit heavier. Just, hey guys, truth in the information here. You can't accuse me of being a shill, or at least too bad of a shill. For this next week, I might get myself in trouble in this one too. So MagTech guys, if you're listening, or S&B guys, sorry, but they have a new product coming out. I'm going to try and get them to give away and get me this one. So I hope I don't get in trouble again. Is 150 grain 6.5 Creedmoor soft point ammo. Again, soft point round nose. It looks hilarious seeing such a modern round with a round soft point lead nose. But for those of you that have been listening to the podcast, you know that that's what we took everything in Africa with. Every animal I shot, every animal everyone else shot, save one, which was the eland, because that was shot with a 375 H&H. But every other animal was shot with 140 grain soft point 6.5 Creedmoor by S&B, and just everything was dead. I think everything was a one-shot kill for everybody. I think so anyway. For me, it was. I got good shots and lucky placements for the animals. I've also been shooting that back here a lot. So I'm excited they're bringing out a little heavier one. So if you like 6.5 Creedmoor and you'd like to see what I think is a cool hunting load, my plan is to use that ammo in the hunter games that make S&B happy and shoot the soft point S&B 6.5 Creedmoor ammo, see how that goes. So I'll try and give away one box of the brand new 150 grain 6.5 Creedmoor S&B ammo. But you guys got to tell me what you think. So the contest last week, here's a winner. We just picked a winner. It is Ruth D. Ruth D out of New York, New York. Ruth, we got to check the laws. If we can send you ammo, we will. If we can't, we got to pick somebody else, because by entering the contest, you gotta say that you can win the prize. So we'll check that out. But Ruth D from New York, New York, congratulations. Your name was selected. You won the free ammo. And by tomorrow, Jackie should have the new contest up there. And then maybe she'll be yelling at me for giving away ammo that I shouldn't have given away. So you guys are awesome. I'm glad you guys came on. I'm glad I was able to ramble through and fill in a whole podcast for you guys. Let's see any last comments here. Any new word on the polymer cased ammo? No, I think it's stalling a bit. From what I've heard, there's at least one company that's made some big promises and it's not performing. Like it's kind of been keep on the down low that the cases aren't lasting, which is really a bummer. I do have non-news that I can't share about really cool, differently cased ammo that's really, really awesome. And I gotta wait a while to let you guys know, but I will when it's possible. Odin adjustable buffers for pistol caliber carbine 9 mil. No, I have not seen those. I'm not an AR-15 9 mil guy. I just not my thing. I love the MPX. That's what I shoot. I even love my Ruger PC9. I'll shoot that thing too. And my tactical garage sales, I'm getting rid of all my junk. One of the things I found brand new in the box is a Palmetto State Armory 9 mil upper lower receiver and barrel set. Doesn't even have a stock or anything on it, but it's just, oh, I didn't realize I had this. Here's something I need to, maybe I'll give that away. Maybe that'll be another giveaway. Start getting rid of some of my stuff. Fred, I'm glad you caught me live, man. Had you on there, Alaska One. Good evening, man. Or woman. I don't know. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Again, I appreciate the support for the sponsors. Spread the word about the podcast. I'll see you guys next week.